Welcome fans inside David E. Hastings Stadium. It's game 2 of the IBL playoff semi-finals, and your Guelph Royals are taking on the visiting Welland Jackfish. I'm Josh Alderman, joined alongside Eli Pearl, and today's game is going to be one for the history books. To quote the late great Shinya Hashimoto, there is no creation without destruction, and if the Guelph Royals want to build themselves back up after last night's devastating loss, then they're going to have to break the unbreakable, and that is the will of the Welland Jackfish. Do the Guelph Royals have it in them to beat the best of the best, or will the Welland Jackfish cement themselves as the IBL's apex predators?
We look at last night's game, and the story of it was runners left in scoring position. Many times the Royals left runners on second and third, and if you want to win a playoff series, that's not what you can do.
Of course, last night was a 3-0 loss for the Royals at the Pond down in Welland. And obviously momentum is going to be on Welland's side. They were the league leaders in the regular season. They clinched the pennant with a 31-11 record, first out of 9 spots. What do you think the momentum on their side is going to do to them? Is it going to really instill confidence in the Jackfish, or is it going to be fuel to the Royals' fire?
I think it works both ways. You know, Euclides Lair on the mound tonight for Welland, and the Royals have struggled against him all year. In an interview, when asked who the hardest pitcher in the league was to face, a lot of the guys said it was Euclides Lair and his slider. You know, that arm slot that pitch comes in on is just so difficult to pick up on, and a lot of the guys on the Royals struggle with it.
So deceptive, so slippery is Euclides Lair. But a little more on him later. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Welland Jackfish. Leading things off will be second baseman Jonah Weisner, followed up by center fielder Gio Morello, right fielder Mateo Porcelato, and first baseman James Smybert follow him up. Then catcher Robert Mullen, DH Grayson Barrett, shortstop Brendan Luther round out the middle part of the lineup, and then capping off the bottom, third baseman Tom Screen, and left fielder Brandon Hupe. Top to bottom, a stacked lineup put together by Brian Esri for the visitors today.
You know, the Ottawa Titans season also came officially to an end today, and rumors of Jake Sanford making his return have been buzzing around.
A star for both Jackfish and the mighty Titans. Sanford was a big contributor in the regular season and moved on to the nation's capital. Whether or not he'll come back is a little tidbit of future news, perhaps. But let's focus on the present and take a look at the defense for the Guelph Royals this afternoon. In left field, Ashton Patterson. Center field, J.D. Williams. Right field, Andy Leader. And then your infield from left to right, Matthew Ward, Connor Morrow, Franklin Torres, and Liam Wilson. Kaner Pena is behind the plate. And the flame-throwing Jacob Cush is up there on the mound.
Jacob Cush is here, 4-4 on the season with a 3.03 ERA. You know, there's not much to say about Cush other than he's the hometown kid who seems to work wonders while here at the park.
Yeah, couldn't have said it better myself. This really seems to be where he finds his strength. On the road, he's been a little shaky, but here at Hastings is really where he draws a lot of his power. Flamethrower. I mean, we don't have a radar gun up here in the booth, but I'd estimate he tops 95 easily. But something to keep an eye on is throughout this season, he's worked in a lot more technicality to his game. He's been a lot more precise with where he's picking his pitches. Something he didn't quite have last year, albeit a very successful season.
Well, now a key piece for Cush is making sure his command is there in the first inning. The first inning is typically when Cush looks a little shaky and ends up getting runners on base. A big indicator of whether it's going to be a great Cush start day is how this first inning goes.
Fans have packed the park this afternoon to see the home side do battle against the league leaders. The first pitch from Cush, and we are underway with a strike. I feel like we harp on it every single Royals game, but Jacob Cush, so quick with his deliveries, leaves only a matter of seconds for the batters to get themselves straightened up, get ready for the next pitch. And didn't even complete that sentence, and he's already worked himself up to an 0-2 count. That one a fastball that goes high, 1-2.
Jonah Weisner this year is batting .349 and has played in all 42 regular season games.
As Weisner's going to foul that one back to stay alive. The Jackfish, a smaller team. You're not going to see too much bench depth there, but they're a very tight-knit, well-oiled machine. So much chemistry on this team. A lot of returning faces from last year's squad. As the payoff pitch pays off big for Cush.
Weisner not looking happy about that call.
Yeah, Cush leaving him looking there as he picks up his first strikeout of the afternoon.
Center fielder, number 11,
That is going to bring up the center fielder, Gio Morello. Morello in his 6th year in the IBL, former NCAA standout.
Cush waiting on him.
Not often that you see Cush taking his time up there on the mound. And he's right back at it with that strike. Fastball that caught the bottom corner. Cush wheeling and dealing once again as that one's fouled back.
His command is looking great early, really painting the corner with that outside fastball.
It's something he loves to do so very much, but something that he has struggled with. And if he's got that command under control early, then look out, Jackfish. As that one on the outside corner called a strike, and Gio Morello, the frustration visible on his face, mouthing some words at home plate umpire Hudson Gagne, words that we probably can't repeat on this broadcast. And just like that, back-to-back Ks for Jacob Cush to kick this one off.
Porchelato, a guy who's had a monster year, batting nearly 400, having 26 stolen bases. He's a guy that you do not want to see on the base paths.
And one of the many, many all-stars on this Jackfish roster. So well-rounded is Porchelato. You mentioned the speed and the contact as well. Back-to-back fastballs down and away, 2-0 now the count. Down in the dirt is that one. The command starting to loosen up for Cush out there on the mound. Royals fans rallying behind the home side. As that one cutting a little close. Had Porchelato dancing up there at the dish, but it is called a strike. 3-1 now the count.
No freebies today, buddy. No freebies.
Hudson Gagne running a tight ship behind the plate.
Consistent so far, though. He's called the same outside pitch twice and that inside pitch.
And no margin for error there, as that last pitch was fouled back. A full count, and the payoff pitch incoming as that one's going to be popped up, out of play, drifting towards the beer garden. And despite Matthew Ward's best efforts chasing after it, that is going to go out of play, so just a foul ball. Fantastic crowd here today, Eli. Royals fans and Jackfish fans have come out in droves to pack the park.
Jackfish fans are always early. I think we had fans here as early as 1:45 from Welland.
I think a couple of them were here before I was. As that one fouled off once again, Porchelato staying alive. It'd be too easy to make a travel in schools joke about the Jackfish fans, but they do travel well.
The Welland region just loves to travel out. You know, Brock Badgers games, they have a fan bus coming all the way to Toronto.
As a swing and a miss from Porchelato make it 3 consecutive Ks from Cush as he smokes the top of the Jackfish order. Talk about a hot start to the game. That's the Jacob Cush that we know and love. Someone who the stats haven't quite been kind to this year. Cush, you look at his regular season stats, a 3.03 ERA across 11 games, has 4 wins and 4 losses, gave up 21 earned runs, but punched out 61. A return to form almost in this first inning from the 2024 IBL Pitcher of the Year.
And let's hope that energy goes straight to the bats from here. You know, getting runs on the board early is super important, especially against a guy like Euclides Lair.
And what a guy he is, Lair. In the regular season, 1.77 ERA across 13 games, had 45 innings pitched, 6 wins, 60 strikeouts, and just 11 batters walked. Very, very impressive, and he's continued that role into the postseason.
Early in his windup, you already see that arm angle. It is so deceiving when you are up to bat as the ball is coming out so far and that slider just sweeps right down behind. If you're a right-handed batter, sweeps right in past you.
And that odd delivery really came in handy for him in his last start against the Kitchener Panthers, game 2 of that series. In that game, went 6 innings, walked no batters, gave up 4 hits, and struck out 4. A little less impressive than what we're used to from Lair, but dominant nonetheless.
In his last appearance against Guelph, he went 5 innings, only allowing 1 hit.
Well, let's see if the Royals can break through today as we take a look at the starting lineup for the home side. Center fielder J.D. Williams leads things off, followed by Connor Morrow at short, and second baseman Franklin Torres. Liam Wilson hitting cleanup today and playing first base, followed by DH Garrett Takamatsu, third baseman Matthew Ward, catcher Kaner Pena, and then rounding out the lineup, right fielder Andy Leader and left fielder Ashton Patterson. Euclides Lair, his last start against the Royals came August 9th, right here at Hastings. Went 5 innings, gave up just 1 hit, walked 2 batters, and struck out 8 along the way.
J.D. Williams, a guy who's shown his frustration at the plate this year, but despite all that, still batting .276.
Yeah, not quite what Royals fans are used to from Mr. Left Turns only. The strikeouts have been an issue for him, second on the team in that category. So he's going to chop that one on the ground. That's going to get past Green and hit the outfield. JD, he's looking at second, but gets the stop sign and will retreat back to first.
I think that's the least amount of pitches I've seen him take all year.
Yeah, right at it was J.D. Williams. Very patient at the plate, typically, but hey, he knows what he wants, and he went right after that one. And that is going to bring up shortstop Connor Morrow. Morrow has been defensive dynamite for the Royals this season. A solid hand out there at short. So he's going to drop down the bunt. Lair and Green chasing after it. Morrow is going to get called out, but J.D. Williams advances up to second. So, mission accomplished. That's about as textbook of a bunt as you can get. Just dropping it down, splitting both Green and Lair. Neither of them really know who was going after it.
And I love to see this small ball tactic early. Frankie Torres, a guy who puts the ball in play a lot, and now having a runner at second like J.D. Williams, somebody fast, I think this is a great sign for the Guelph Royals.
A hot start is J.D. Williams trying to fake out Lair. That unorthodox delivery gets him the first strike of this at-bat. 0-1 the count. As Lair checks in on his man at second. Williams fakes the run over, stops about halfway down. That ball does go wide, 1-1 the count.
Going to his off-speed pitch, 2 in a row here.
It's now Wisner dancing out there at second. That one fouled back, trying to draw the throw, and that's something the Welland Jackfish have done well for the last few years, is mind games, really. Out there trying to distract runners, try and even get hitters up at the plate to second guess themselves. as that one's going to be fouled back. Bounces off the gear of Robert Mullen.
The Welland Jackfish only bringing in one catcher to this year's playoffs. I'm sure they have other guys on the bench who've played catcher before, and they do have a plan for backup, but only really one guy who's been at the position for most of the year.
But when you got a guy like Robert Mullen, you're going to want to play him as often as you can, but not having a backup, I should say, is a gamble that has so far paid off for the Jackfish. As that one fouled back again, Torres stays alive. Waiting in the on-deck circle is the big man, Liam Wilson. Of course, should things progress that far, DH Garrett Takamatsu waiting in the wings as well. As Lair taking his time here, really making Torres wait, as that one's going to be popped up. Couple Jackfish chasing after it, but it is Jonah Weisner that ranges over to his left and makes the grab. 2 outs here in the home half of the first. And that's something that you mentioned off the top, Eli, is that the Royals really have to capitalize on runners on base. They had an issue with it last night. It's been a frequent issue for them throughout this entire season, is just making the most of these golden opportunities.
And what a great guy to do it, Liam Wilson. Wilson, a guy who's been battling with injury all year and is finally looking healthy, and boy, does it show.
Wilson, the 29-year-old, batting .588 in the postseason, 10 hits. Also had a 3-run home run in the series against London. Was that first pitch a slider that catches the outside corner? 0-1 the count. Lair again taking his time and fools Wilson with that slider again.
The pitch so deceiving to hit.
And that's the thing about Lair. The way he delivers starts off looking like a conventional delivery, then he drops his arm down, so you're expecting something a little more technical like a slider, and then he pounds the zone with a fastball, and then you're completely fooled. And even when he does mix in that slider, it's just as deadly. Wilson fouls that one back to stay alive. 0-2 still the count. Williams, despite his best efforts, hasn't even drawn a throw over to second. Trying to keep the Jackfish on their toes. The 0-2. Swing and a miss from Liam Wilson. Euclides Lair matching Jacob Cush in terms of a hot start. So a runner left on base. Still zeros up on the board here at Hastings as we head to the second inning. This is Guelph Royals TV. Welcome back, fans, to Guelph Royals TV. Josh Alderman, Eli Pearl on the call today. Still nothing on the scoreboard, and it looks to be a very delightful pitcher's duel, if you're a fan of the sort of thing. Jacob Cush, 3 straight Ks to kick off the game, and then Euclides Lair followed it up with some, well, drawing some unproductive contact from some of the Royals' best hitters. As now we head to the second inning of play. Cush's first pitch of the inning goes high, 1-0 the count. Cush never actually faced the Welland Jackfish this season. His first meeting with them has been so far so good, 1-1 the count. His last appearance came last year on August 31st, and just like he is today, throwing fire. Went 7 innings, gave up 3 hits, walked 3, 5 Ks as well. And that came as a reliever. Pardon me, as a starter. As that ball drops a bit low, much to the chagrin of the Royals Kingdom, 2-2 the count. Chopped on the ground to stay alive.
Royals fans really loud today.
Yeah.
It's the energy you want to see from a 4:05 start. Something we're not used to here in the Royal City.
Oh, not at all, but it's a beautiful day nonetheless as that one gets popped up. Torres, JD, and leader all chasing after it, but it is the second baseman Torres who makes the grab. Too often this season we have seen the Guelph Royals fall into what we like to call the Bermuda Triangle situation, where you have 3 guys chasing after the ball and it just drops right in the middle of it, never to be seen again. But Torres making the most of it, that defensive prowess coming into play once again. And the outfield playing way back for Robert Mullen.
Robert Mullen last night took one out deep to center field with a 1-run shot against Claudio Custodio.
Went 1 for 3 in the game, and yes, that home run was his only hit of the game. As Cush delivers again. Something a little more off speed, something we haven't quite seen from Cush so far in this game. 1-1 the count.
Mullen showing a nod of respect there to Cush after that
Yeah.
pitch.
Check swing, did he go around? Yes, he did. Mullen, none too pleased, taking a second to gather himself. And that's something you don't see very often, a frazzled, a shaken Robert Mullen. See what he can do here with the 1-2. That one chopped on the ground. Connor Morrow, reliable as ever, flips it on to first. And just like that, 2 outs here in the top of the second. With Mullen retired, that's going to bring up the DH, Grayson Barrett. As the Royals now return to a traditional defensive setup. Still leaving a big hole up the middle that the Jackfish have yet to exploit in this contest. First pitch down low, 1-0. Chopped on the ground, but foul. Liam Wilson ready and willing to chase after that one. Got a good head of steam, but just a foul ball there. Another big swing there from Grayson Barrett. This time no contact made. 1-2 the count. It's Cush getting set for the 1-2. Barrett showing off his tenacity, fouls it back to stay alive. Barrett, one of the top performers for this Jackfish team in the regular season, had a .296 batting average. Here in the playoffs, .294. Very consistent is the 24-year-old, but so is Jacob Cush, racking up the Ks there and lighten up the strike zone early. Make it 4 Ks through 2 innings pitched for the flamethrower and Jacob Cush. talk about an impressive and really hot start to the game from Jacob Cush.
His command just looks like it's there. He's painting the corners with his fastball. His breaking ball is dancing all over the place. And that's a great sign if you're a Royals fan.
Yeah, it seems like there's a formula to most Jacob Cush starts. He takes, 2 to 3 innings to really warm up, to really get in his zone.
It looks like he's already there.
He's already there.
Garrett Takamatsu leading things off for the Royals here, one of their most consistent hitters.
The former IBL MVP and multi-time All-Star, batting .500 here in the playoffs. 8 hits, 4 runs scored, 6 RBIs. 3 of those 8 hits have been doubles. So very consistent is Takamatsu. And in a year where you've seen some of the more reliable veteran guys like J.D. Williams and Andy Leader kind of take a step back production-wise, it's got to really bolster confidence if you're Dino Ramel and company to see Takamatsu kind of pick up that slack.
Taka, guy who battles with injury a lot. He's had to play in the field more than he planned on this season.
But he has more than made up for it with his performances at the plate. In the regular season, a .336 batting average. Came around to score 23 times, had 6 homers and a very impressive 39 RBI total on the season. Not to mention 47 hits, just casually throughout the season.
Number 4, Garrett Takamatsu.
We'll see what he can do against the dangerous Euclides Layer.
And dangerous doesn't even begin to describe what Layer brings to the table. We mentioned the fastball that he works in, that deadly slider. As that one, fastball outside, want to know the count. Takamatsu, not exactly on the patient side, usually goes after one of the first 3 pitches he sees. As he does right there, he's going to smack that one up the gap between Weisner and Smybert. He's going to reach base. Just 2 pitches into his at-bat, and he's already on board. Whether or not the Royals can capitalize on this is a different matter entirely, Eli.
Matthew Ward coming to the plate. Been in and out of the lineup lately since Connor Pena came back, but he appears to be the starting third baseman for the Royals this playoffs.
Yeah, he played catcher for most of the regular season.
Was an all-star.
Was an all-star.
And soon will be representing Great Britain.
Really?
He's represented them for the U23 team, but he's going to the men's team next. It's sort of a qualifier for the World Baseball Classic.
Matthew Ward, no stranger to big stages. As he faces off against Euclides Layer here, 0-1 the count. Welland's defense playing in on the corners, but Luther and Weisner practically on top of the outfield grass. Trying to avoid the situation that we had in the first inning where J.D. Williams got on board and Connor Morrow dropped down a bunt to advance him up to second. The 1-1 from Layer. Down and away, and for Euclides Layer, he's not exactly the type of pitcher to try and draw a swing. He usually just goes after the strike zone regardless of who the batter is. Interesting to see if he keeps that up here as he sends that one way inside. Sends Ward backpedaling. Shaken, not stirred as Matthew Ward as he gets set to go back into the batter's box, just adjusting his gloves, taking his time here. It's Takamatsu with a fairly conservative lead at first. Not quite known for stealing bases as that one. A slider outside. And now 2 runners on board for the catcher, Kaner Pena.
Your catcher, number 24, Kaner Pena.
And Welland, by the looks of it, going right back to that 2-in, 2-out system for the infield. Trying to avoid any bunt or any kind of single that would squeak its way into the outfield.
Well, they are also set up to turn 2 here.
Absolutely, and a whole series of events going on there. Pina showed signs of a bunt, a slider that went outside, and Takamatsu was looking like he might try and steal third, but Robert Mullen warding him off. And again, Mullen sends Talk scampering back to second base. We know he has a cannon of an arm. That much is not in doubt. Takamatsu mentioned how he isn't quite your typical base stealer. He's a big guy, but he moves oh so fast. Shows signs of bunt once more. They're going to try and pick him off, but no dice.
Well, the plan here is to fluster Lair. Tack, not the guy you want trying to steal a base, but as you can see, it's getting to Lair's head.
Yeah.
3-0 count here against the dangerous Kiner Pina. Pina's showed his struggle at the plate, but he can still mash the fastball.
In his first game with the Royals, had 2 home runs, so the power is not in doubt. As that one sent in for a strike. I like that approach from Pina, though. A 3-0 count, it's working in your favor. Lair is looking flustered. Let that one go by. And now you still got a count working in your favor for a time being, as that one gets called a strike. A fastball in on the hands. Now in a situation like this, do you send the runners to try and avoid the double play?
No.
Well, we'll have to see, as that one's drifting into deep center right. Porcelato ranges over to his right and picks it up, but Takamatsu will advance up to third. So runners on the corners with just one out here in the home half of the second.
Pina doing his job advancing that runner.
Yeah. That's exactly what you want to see. Kind of like Connor Morrow's bunt in the first inning. It's not pretty, but you're getting the job done. And really, you put pretty much any other right fielder out there, aside from Mateo Porcelato, and Ward probably would have tried to go for second. This Welland outfield, dynamic, quick, wicked arms, as Andy Leader calls time. I believe there was a bee circling around him.
As a landscaper, you should be used to this.
Not quite the man of nature, Andy Leader, as that one called a strike, but really seemed like it was hanging over the opposite batter's box.
A wide zone so far tonight.
Yeah, wide but consistent. You can say that much about Hudson Gagne. No doubt about that one. A slider that just kept drifting away from Lair. 1-1 the count. The fastball has been on point, but I think the mind games have gotten to him. That slider seems to drift further and further away from the plate every time he throws it.
Performing with runners on the corners is so difficult, especially with one out.
For any pitcher. As that one is fouled back, 1-2 the count. Lair spent 7 seasons in the Chicago White Sox organization, topped out at AAA. Has become a journeyman ever since independent leagues, has played in Mexico, the Dominican, and is coming off a fantastic stint in the Nicaraguan Winter League, as that one's going to get slapped into left field by Andy Leader. That is going to be fair. Garrett Takamatsu coming in. Matthew Ward is getting the stop sign. And the Royals have a run aboard here in the second inning.
And the rally towels are going. Andy Leader with a huge double to kick things off for the Royals.
That is fantastic, and already a meeting of the minds at the mound for the Welland Jackfish. They're not going to pull Lair this early into the game unless there's an injury with him. That would be ridiculous, but something to keep an eye on. Relief pitcher Halen Knoll is now heading out towards the Jackfish bullpen. Lair, as we mentioned off the top, the quality not in doubt. One of the IBL's best pitchers. But looks quite shaken up there on the mound.
Your left fielder, number 50.
Corners are in here. The play is going home. If it
If it gets to it, yeah.
Ashton Patterson so quick on the base paths.
Nicknamed the Roadrunner by his contemporaries at Guelph University.
With an incredible game last night, hitting a double and throwing out a runner.
As that one sent sky high, it is going to drift out of play, and the hordes of children out there in the outfield chasing after that one. Of course, not a souvenir, but can be returned at the concession stand for a sweet treat.
Kids were not happy to hear that they could not trade them in for a pack of baseball cards anymore.
Truly a tragedy. Is that one a fastball? Low, but Robert Mullen framing it up perfectly to get that call. 0-2 the count. The 0-2 count on Patterson. Lair delivers again. That is going to hit the knee of Patterson, and he will advance up to first.
And that loads the bases early for the Guelph Royals and brings them right back to the top of the order.
Right back to the top we go. J.D. Williams, the former Cincinnati Reds prospect, coming up to the dish. Already 2 RBIs in the postseason. Looking back at the regular season, had 23 on the season, not to mention 35 hits. As he steps up with the bases loaded. First pitch fastball called a strike, 0-1 the count. And again, that 2-in, 2-out approach from the Jackfish to try and prevent anything substantial, as that one's going to drift into the outfield. Gio Morello picks it up. Matthew Ward is heading for home and makes it in safe and sound.
Another sac fly by the Guelph Royals, continuously moving the runners in key situations.
Yeah, by no means the big result that fans would have wanted, but a productive at-bat nonetheless from J.D. Williams, as another run comes in to score here. Leader, the runner at second. Patterson, the runner at first. And shortstop Connor Morrow up at the dish. As Lair really taking his time now on the mound. Is going to throw over to third?
They're contesting. They think that he left early on the sacrifice. I'm saying he didn't.
Interesting. Yeah, that was very clear. Matthew Ward had it read the entire way. He tagged up. That's for certain, but Jackfish quite literally covering all their bases, making sure nothing goes to waste. As Morrow gets set, Lair delivers the 0-1. Check swing, did he go around? No. 1-1. Now the count. Great work from Connor Morrow to bring that barrel back. Looked like he was going all the way there. Leader with a fairly substantial lead over at second. Same with Patterson at first. So that's fouled back. Two of the fastest runners on this Royals roster. Leader and Patterson. In a 2-out situation, I doubt we'll see a double steal attempt, but it's the IBL. Anything can happen. As Morrow gets sent down swinging. But the Royals get on the board and make the most of the opportunities given. The home side leading 2-0 as we head to the third inning. Buckle up. This is Guelph Royals TV. Welcome back to David E. Hastings Stadium. This is Guelph Royals TV, and this is Josh Alderman alongside Eli Pearl. Your Guelph Royals leading the way early on. 2-0 is the score. Not something we're used to seeing. The Welland Jackfish down early on. Resilient and tenacious. See if they can bounce back against the electric Jacob Cush.
Into their 7-hitter, Brendan Luther.
Of course, Cush retiring the first 6 batters he's seen in order. Now facing off against Brendan Luther. That first pitch fastball outside, 1-0 the count. Luther, a summer league veteran, spent the last 5 in the WCBL. That pitch finding the zone, the command back under control for Cush, 1-1. Luther batting .500 in the postseason so far. 7 hits, 3 RBIs, and a threat on the base paths. 2 stolen bases so far. We'll see if he can get on base. Not looking likely as Torres flips it on to Wilson at first. And just like that, 1 out here in the top of the 3rd. That is going to bring up the 8-hole hitter, third baseman Thomas Green.
The third baseman, number 1, Thomas Green.
As the Royals playing third baseman Matthew Ward in, trying to prevent a bunt situation. First pitch down for a ball, 1-0 the count. Waiting in the on-deck circle is the 9-hole hitter, Brandon Hupe. As Cush gets set, delivers the 1-0, and that very quickly becomes a 1-1 count. Massive swing and a miss from Thomas Green.
That fastball working nicely inside so far today for Cush.
As he gets set and is right back at it. That one sent sky high into center right. Andy Leader, no trouble at all, picks it up. And already 2 outs in the inning. Make it 8 in a row retired by Cush.
The left fielder, number 21.
That is going to bring up the
Brandon Hupe.
aforementioned 9-hole hitter, Brandon Hupe. Royals defense playing a little further back now. Hupe had 3 home runs in the regular season. 44 hits as well, on his way to a .288 batting average. As Cush right back into things with another fastball, catching the outside corner. Mixing in a good balance of inside and outside as already a 1-1 count. A swing and a miss. That fastball nearly as deceptive as Layer's slider. Gets another swing and a miss from Hupe. 1-2 the count.
Hupe taking his time to breathe.
Who wouldn't after a fastball like that? As the home side rallies around Cush. That ball down in the dirt. Gets away from Peanut, but no runners on base, so no harm, no foul. Evens things up at 2-2. Should Hupe get on base, the leadoff man, Jonah Weisner, waiting in the on-deck circle. As the Royals Kingdom comes alive once more. That one's going to be squared into right field. It's going to get past the diving arm of Andy Leader. Hupe, he's going to turn, he's going to head for 3. And he will get in with a stand-up 2-out triple. Not something you see every day. We talked about how great of a hitter Hupe was in the regular season, and now bringing that same heat to the postseason. Andy Leader really had that one, was chasing it all the way, and to me it looked like just mistimed that jump by about half a second.
Not something you see him do too often.
No.
A black hole out there in the big right field at Hastings Stadium.
So For the very first time today, there's a runner on base for the Welland Jackfish. So that one's going to be popped up out of play. Bouncing off the roof of the Royals dugout. As Jonah Weisner steps in for his second at-bat of the afternoon. Struck out his first time up. Royals defense playing about as straight up as you can get. As that one's going to be sent right into the glove of Andy Leader. No trouble at all. So the Jackfish finally able to break through after 8 batters retired in a row. A stand-up 2-out triple from Brandon Hupe finally puts a hit up there on the board for the Jackfish. And to see them, for lack of a better term, down like this early, not something we're used to seeing from Welland.
No, very uncharacteristic of them.
Yeah, a very dominant team. They jump out to early leads and kind of ride those highs throughout the rest of the game. As the outfield really taking their time getting back out onto the grass. Yeah.
And a very dangerous 1-2-3 about to come up for the Guelph Royals. A perfect time to further capitalize and separate themselves from the Welland Jackfish.
Yeah, it is going to be Franklin Torres, Liam Wilson, and Garrett Takamatsu up to bat.
At some points, the 2-3-4 hitter this year.
Yeah, so dangerous is that top stretch of the Royals lineup. But you look at this game so far, Matthew Ward came on and scored. Andy Leader had that RBI double. Was able to get the first of 2 runs on the board for the Royals. Yeah, and just watching the Jackfish warm up on the field, they're taking their time. They're like cracking each other up with jokes. They don't seem fazed by this 2-0 deficit. And that's what I talked about off the top. The will and wile of the Welland Jackfish. They're so tenacious, really deceptive. Not much can get to them, but the Royals have gotten to layer early. Let's see if they can keep that streak going as Torres is going to slap that one into center field. Gio Morello is going to get to it in time, turning on the Jets, but making the catch nonetheless.
That ball just stayed hanging out there in the outfield, giving Morello enough time to get under it.
Yeah, got there just in time. He looked like on those last few steps he was starting to lean forward just a little bit. Doesn't take a tumble and comes up with the catch, so 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the third. It is going to bring up Liam Wilson. Has just 1 home run in these playoffs. A 3-run blast against the London Majors. As now having a quick conversation with Hudson Gagne. Looks like maybe a little too much dirt in the batter's box. Hard to see where the lines are.
I don't think it's dirt as much as where Robert Mullen is setting up.
You think so? It's now drawn the attention of Dino Ramel, standing out there at third, starting to take a few steps in. Yeah, it could be a balancing of both, as the first pitch that he sees is a slider that gets him swinging. 0-1 the count. Wilson struck out his first time up.
Wilson, I think, trying to stand as far back in the box as he possibly can with the dangerous slider.
Yeah, that's really what it looks like, and not sure if it's the best strategy with the way that Layer's slider has really gotten away from him, drifting really further and further outside on these righty batters. Now the 0-2. And Liam Wilson sent down for the second time today on strikes. Just like that, 2 outs here in the 3rd inning. Well, that is going to bring up Garrett Takamatsu, who really got the party started last time up.
Garrett Takamatsu.
Had a single that really got the Royals going. As Lair again taking his time, making Takamatsu wait, but the patience pays off. Pitch called a strike, 0-1 the count. Royals fans have cooled down just a little bit, now raising their ire at Hudson Gagne for what they believe is a missed call. 0-2 now the count.
From up here, that pitch did look like it caught the outside corner.
As that one outside, despite Robert Mullen pretty much diving to bring that one back into the zone, is called a ball. 1-2 the count. Jackfish defense playing pretty straight up, but a massive gap between Luther and Wisner out there at second base, and Takamatsu trying to exploit it. Beautiful play from Luther.
But just not enough time.
Not in time. It was up off the dirt. He was able to catch it barehanded, almost toss it up to himself. A little bit of an alley-oop, but the theatrics get him nowhere, and Takamatsu's on board with a 2-out single, his second single of the day. That is going to bring up Matthew Ward. Walked his first time up. First pitch from Lair outside. 1-0 the count, and the vision from Ward is practically unmatched by anyone on either team.
He does spend a lot of time behind the plate.
Yeah, it does help to be a catcher. You know pitchers and pitches so intimately. As Lair checks in on his runner at first. Again, making the batter wait. And delivers the 1-1, drifting inside, and Matthew Ward doing everything he can to get out of the way of that one.
Ward uses an interesting model of bat. He uses tax handle and his own custom torpedo that doesn't have quite as much lowered down on the barrel, but just a slight taper from the top.
Well, he hasn't had a chance to use it in this game so far. Of course, drew that walk his first time up. Let's see if he can put that unique piece of equipment to good use here. As that one's going to be popped up. Wisner waving for it, calling for it all the way, and makes the grab to end the inning. So the Royals leave a runner stranded. That has become a common theme. Can they break through heading into the fourth? Well, we will just have to wait and see. You're watching Guelph Royals TV.
Hardline drive up the middle. Whoa! Lindor out of nowhere. How did he do that?
That Lindor can play. I don't know about that hair. And don't get me started on those gloves.
I don't know. I kind of like it.
It's time for a revolution. The Ref 1X by Rollins.
Welcome back, fans, to David E. Hastings Stadium. The kids running the bases, and a good time was had by all. Saw a couple adults trying to mix it up in there as well. But fun is the name of the game this afternoon here at Hastings. The park is packed. As we mentioned earlier, the Jackfish fans, they do travel in schools. They do travel well. You can see plenty of green shirts and hats up and down the right field or first base line. As we get a final score update from the only other game in the IBL today. Barrie beating the Hamilton Cardinals at Bernie Arbor Stadium 7-1, already jumping out to a 2-0 lead in that series.
Owen Boone is human. Who knew?
Yeah, who'd have guessed? The IBL's top pitcher finally showing that, yes, he too can get got.
Guy who carried a .77 whip this year.
That's not human. That's not reasonable to expect from the average person. But Owen Boone is not the average person. As that one is going to get sent into left field. First pitch is all it takes to put a runner, the second runner of the game, on base for the Welland Jackfish.
The right fielder, number 10, Mateo Portolato.
With Morello now on base, that is going to bring up Mateo Portolato. Portolato struck out his first time up. Part of that 3 consecutive K first inning. As he's going to send that one on a line into deep right field. That's going to bounce off the wall just about at the 325 sign.
Leader played that ball incredibly well, holding the runners at second and third.
And a malfunction at the junction there. Connor Morrow was supposed to receive the throw at second, but it completely got past him. Matthew Ward there to clean up, but a potentially disastrous mistake by Connor Morrow there.
A possible confusion around signs here, or Cush worried that the Welland Jackfish are stealing his signs in this situation.
Yeah, hard to say. As now two runners on base. Morello at third, Portolato at second, and James Smybert at the dish. Oh, and 1 already the count. As Cush, as he always does, wasting little time. Smybert really chopping at that one, got under it. JD has it all the way. Morello not going to tempt fate. JD would have had him. So Morello scampers back to third. Yeah, JD Williams would have gunned him down from deep center field should Morello have tried to run. A wise decision there.
But that brings to a plate a very dangerous hitter in Robert Mullen with runners on second and third.
Yeah, not a situation you want to be in if you're the Royals. Having any runners on base with Robert Mullen at the dish, let alone runners at second and third. As that first pitch is going to drop in for a strike, a fastball that had a little break there at the end. Not something we see too often from Jacob Cush. Both runners not exactly threats to steal given the situation. So that one's going to be chopped on the ground, but foul. Very quickly an 0-2 count on Robert Mullen. Mullen, who grounded out to short his first time up.
You imagine an outspeed pitch out of the zone here must be coming.
Cush uncharacteristically taking time, shaking off the signs of Kaner Pena. See if he's got something in mind here. But that drops just shallow. Catching a little bit of the dirt on the way down. 1-2 the count. As the Royals fans expressing their displeasure with Hudson Gagne and his calls. He's been consistent. The strike zone is a little wide by considerable standards, but
that makes our job easier, Josh. It
just
lets the game
a little
move
bit
faster.
And with Jacob Cush on the mound, it was going to move fast regardless. Pounding the strike zone with relentless efficiency, just couldn't get that fastball back in the zone in time. 2-2 now the count. As Cush gets set and delivers. That one chopped foul by Robert Mullen. Looked like he was second-guessing himself there. Tried to pull the bat back, then took a swing no matter what, and that ball ultimately gets fouled off his own foot. Gagne doing him a solid, walking the baseball out to the mound, giving him a couple seconds to recover. Let's see if the breather gets Robert Mullen back in the zone for this 2-2 pitch.
Royal City getting loud here.
One out, runners at second and third. The 2-2. In on the hands. And the fans, their cheers and jeers coming at equal volume. And a full count now on the ever-dangerous Robert Mullen. Led the team in both home runs and RBIs in the regular season, 11 and 40 respectively. As that one's going to get away from Pina. But had it covered all the way, the damage is done though. Robert Mullen walked and aboard with just one out. Now the bases are loaded.
The designated hitter, number 24.
Is going to bring up the designated hitter, Grayson Barrett. Barrett in his second year, both in the IBL and with the Welland Jackfish. The 24-year-old batting .294 in the postseason. Just one RBI to his name, but 5 hits across 4 games played.
Dino Ramel showing his trust in Cush here, not going out for a mound visit.
Well, after all, it is Jacob Cush. Lowest ERA in the league last year. Pitcher of the year as well. Has struggled a little more this year, but got off to a hot start early. Let's see if he can refine that momentum, as that one's going to be popped up into shallow left field. Ashton Patterson is going to grab it. Gio Morel is going to test his arm. He will get in time, but the other runners are held right where they are. So call it a sac fly for Grayson Barrett. And the Jackfish are on the board.
The shortstop, number
Grayson
20,
Barrett doing his job perfectly there. It's exactly what you want to see in situations like that.
Oh, absolutely. It was a one-out situation. Obviously, with the bases loaded, not the result the Jackfish would have ideally wanted, but getting the job done nonetheless. You're cashing in a run. You're keeping the momentum on your side. Let's see if they can keep things going with Brendan Luther. Grounded out to second his first time up.
All season, Josh, the Welland Jackfish execute and execute. They don't make mistakes, and they do the right thing at the right time. It's the reason they win so many games.
So relentless, endlessly pursuing perfection, it seems like. Yeah, not letting much get past them. Everything they do has a purpose, has a point. There is very, very little that can shake them up. But the Royals still leading 2-1 here. That's Cush taking a little more time here, really thinking out his next pitch, and it's a pitch that's going to be fouled back, bringing the count to 1-2. Porchelato, the runner at second. Mullen, the runner at first. Brendan Luther, the man at the plate. Should he get on base, it is third baseman Thomas Green waiting in the wings. Chopped foul again. Back-to-back off-speed pitches fouled away by Brendan Luther.
They're making the beer garden stay on their toes today.
Yeah, that's not the first time he's fouled it out that way. Hopefully no spilt drinks. As time is called by the batter. Cush. Taking his time, thinking things through. Rose defense playing straight up. Ward trying to prevent the bunt, but that won't be necessary. Mark it up as another strikeout for Jacob Cush.
Welland leaving 2 on, but not without damage being done here.
Yeah, that sac fly from Grayson Barrett puts Welland's first run of the game up there on the board. But they leave 2 runners on base, and that's not something you can say about the Welland Jackfish very often. You look at their stats in the regular season, scored a league-leading 351 runs across 42 games played, and gave up a league lowest 161 runs. In the season series, won 5 out of the 6 contests against the Royals by a total score of 33-13. They're dominant. There's no other way to put it. There's no other word that perfectly encapsulates what the Welland Jackfish are other than dominant. Of course, you look back at last night's game that really set the stage for today. Teodoro Ortega was the starter, went 7 innings, gave up 7 hits, but no earned runs. 2 walks and 7 Ks on his night. Of course, Davey Mendez coming in for the save. Robert Mullen, his aforementioned home run, his only hit of the night. Jonah Weisner also got on board, went 1 for 4 on the night, but did come around to score. You look at the opposition, your Guelph Royals. Claudio Custodio, the starter, went 6 innings, gave up 8 hits, 2 runs, walked 2 and struck out 4. J.D. Williams went 1 for 3. Liam Wilson had a monster night, going 3 for 4, and the rest of the lineup got a couple hits in as well. Morrow, Patterson, and Takamatsu all chipping in with a hit. That is going to bring up Kaner Pena. Heading into this afternoon's contest, batting .308 in the postseason, 4 hits, 1 double, 1 RBI to his name. As he lets that one sail past for a strike, 0-1 the count. Pena flew out to Portulato his first time up. Takes a shortened swing at that one, chops it foul.
That ball running in on his hands.
It really jammed him up. Not something you see too often from Pena. He's going to dribble that one on the ground to Green. Flips it on to first for the first out of the inning. Well, with Pena retired, that is going to bring up the man who really got the action started, Andy Leader. Had an RBI double back in the second inning.
Andy Leader.
He has struggled mightily this year. Not quite hitting the highs of seasons gone by in the postseason. Heading into this afternoon's contest, batting .125, 2 hits, 2 stolen bases, but 9 strikeouts along the way.
Kicking things off today with a double, though.
Yeah, seems to have refound his form. In the regular season, had 32 hits, just 9 RBIs, but a consistent and reliable presence for these Royals.
Both him and J.D. Williams here extra early, taking BP before BP.
And that one, Leader showed signs of bunt, but that one had him twirling. And that's something Euclides Layer hasn't done much, which is go inside on a batter. That is a little more like it. Down and away. 3-1 the count. Jackfish playing green practically on top of the infield grass, trying to prevent a bunt situation. Chopped foul to stay alive is Andy Leader. Now it looks like with the full count, they'll go back to playing straight up. See what Lair can do here. The payoff pitch pays off for Leader as he draws the walk, and he's on board with 1 out here in the 4th. That is going to bring up the left fielder, Ashton Patterson.
Ashton Patterson!
Flew out to center his first time up.
Third baseman Thomas Green yet again playing in onto the grass.
Yeah, Patterson, not quite the most adept hitter in this Royals lineup. A 115 average in the regular season. 21 runs scored, 11 hits, 10 RBIs. Not to mention 28 strikeouts. As Leader's going to go, that one sent deep to right field by Patterson. That's going to hit the wall. Patterson turning on the Jets. He's heading for third. Andy Leader's going to come in to score.
Ashton Patterson with a stand-up triple.
And not just a stand-up triple, a stand-up RBI triple. And the rally towels are out in full force here in the grandstands.
Time in and time out in the playoffs, Ashton Patterson always performs. You look at his last year's regular season stats compared to his playoff stats, and he hit 400 in the playoffs, something you do not see him do in the regular season.
He is a man built for big moments. None bigger than a playoff date with the Welland Jackfish. It's that first pitch, a fastball high and outside, 1-0 the count. And as you could probably hear from a fan here in the grandstands, Euclides Lair is frustrated, wearing his emotion on his sleeve. That one, a fastball just caught the corner, 1-1 the count. Ranging inside, which, as we mentioned, not something that Lair does often against righty batters. Gets JD swinging with that one. 1-2 the count. Williams, 1 for 2 on the day. Strikeouts have been a consistent problem this season for him. Had a second highest on the team, 37 in the regular season. Gets ahead of that one, but does chop it foul. 1-2 the count. There's no doubt that anything into the outfield will score Patterson, and then some. He's got the speed to do the damage. It's just a matter of getting there. Did he go around? Yes, he did, is the call from the crew chief, Scott Costello, out there at first. Agonizing for Royals fans is that strikeout, but that is going to bring up the shortstop, Connor Morrow. 0 for 2 on the game so far. A ground out and a strikeout on his ledger.
And he tries to get things going and keep this inning rolling.
Yeah, momentum still considerably on the side of the Royals. They have gotten to Lair. It's just a matter of making the most of your opportunities and not leaving runners stranded. Yeah, that's not a sentence you get to say often here in the IBL. Euclides Lair is shaken up. The Royals batters have gotten into his head and really gotten to him. He is frustrated. He is emotional. But at the end of the day, he's still Euclides Lair, as now an 0-2 count on Connor Morrow.
Patterson dancing at third, trying to distract him.
Yeah, distract him, maybe even draw a throw over. Green playing pretty far away from the bag. The 0-2. And back-to-back strikeouts by Euclides Lair end the inning on a low. But the Royals have hit a new high, cashing in one more run to bring the score to 3-1 in their favor. This game is just getting started, so buckle up. You're watching Guelph Royals TV. Welcome back to Guelph Royals TV.
On we go to
The home side leading the way early on, 3-1 now the score.
Leading off for the Welland Jackfish, the third baseman, #1,
Jacob
Thomas
Cush
Green.
staying out there on the mound through 4 innings, has thrown 62 pitches, 5 strikeouts to his name. As he will face off with the bottom 2 batters and then the leadoff man, those being Green, Hupay, and Wisner respectively. So that one's going to be chopped on the ground, just past the outstretched glove of Matthew Ward. It will get into left field, but the reliable arm of Ashton Patterson keeps things that way. So it is just a single off the first pitch seen from Thomas Green.
The left fielder,
That
number 21,
is going to bring up left fielder Brandon Hupay. Had a triple his first time up. Broke the run of 8 consecutive batters retired by Cush. Yeah, say what you will about the Welland Jackfish. They are consistent. Their squad is reliable top to bottom. They are deadly 1 through 9. Pickoff attempt comes a little late, but that seems to me a little more of a warning shot than anything. Keeping Green on his toes. Has a decent lead out there at first. Really not one way or the other. Back-to-back fastballs from Cush brings the count to 2-0. Ward once again playing in on the infield grass, trying to prevent a bunt situation. As Cush gets set, the runner not going, but trying to draw a throw is Green. We talked about
not liking that call.
Yeah, not at all. And now staring down his third base coach. Not out of malice, but perhaps out of what do I do now type of appeal. So that one's going to be chopped back behind the grandstand, 2-2 the count. Green, the runner at first, no outs here in the top of the 5th. Green already 1 stolen base in the postseason. Not going to try and make it 2 here as that one, a fastball right up Main Street, but Gagne must have seen things differently. Of course, there is a reason we're up here in the booth and he's down there calling the balls and strikes. But now a full count on the 9-hole hitter, Brandon Hupay. The payoff pitch. Slapped on a line, and it's going to be a double play for the Royals. A 4-3 double play, as that one, I mean, couldn't have been placed any better in the glove of Franklin Torres, and Thomas Green caught napping halfway between first and second, and of course, one little toss on to first is all it takes for there to be 2 outs here in the top of the 5th.
He broke to second at the crack of that bat, and it did not work in his favor.
Yeah, lined right, and I mean like right directly into the glove of Franklin Torres. Couldn't have drawn it up any better. As the first.
In trying to avoid the double play, he caused it.
That he did, and Jonah Wisner slaps a single into right field, gets on board with 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. That is going to bring up center fielder Gio Morello. Singled and came around to score his last time up. The only run of the game so far for the Jackfish. As Gio Morello really taking his time, getting set up in the batter's box. Playing about as far back as he can from the plate. Takes that first pitch. Right up the middle, may have been just outside, 1-0 the count.
fans voicing their displeasure
Yep.
here.
The creativity is admired. The hostility, maybe not so much. Pickoff attempt goes nowhere, still 1-0. The runner is going. Pina's going to make the throw, but it's not in time. Weisner picks up his 4th stolen base of the postseason. Yeah, Pina couldn't have placed that throw any better, but Weisner just too fast, just too quick.
This now puts a runner into scoring position for Gio Morello.
Yeah, heart of the order. Following behind Morello, should he get on base. So that pitch of fastball high and wide. 3-0 now the count. Cush, only 1 walk on the afternoon so far. Would love to avoid making it 2. As he gets set and delivers. That one, no doubt about it. Right up Main Street goes the fastball. 3-1 now the count. Porchelato waiting in the wings. Should the inning progress that far. It's Connor Morrow playing some tricks out there at second base. Trying to draw the throw as that's fouled back to bring things to a full count. Cush, 5 Ks in the game so far. Has been lighting up these Jackfish batters with fastball after fastball. And the crowd now rallying behind the hometown boy. The payoff pitch is fouled off. Staying alive is Morello, but well, he may have wavered about halfway through that swing, unsure whether or not he was going to go around. The support of the Royals fans has not. They have been loud all game long. Whether that's cheering for their side or jeering the officiating crew. Now showing the former here in support of Cush. The payoff pitch is fouled back once again. Morello made a tough stuff, really extending this at bat longer than it has any right to. Heading into this afternoon's contest, a 200 batting average, 2 hits, and just 1 RBI. Would love to make it 2, but he will not get the chance. Franklin Torres flashing the leather out there at second. Makes the quick and easy grab.
Franklin Torres, a late addition to this Royals team, but quite possibly the best player now on the team. He is an insanely great defensive second baseman and also hits like a madman.
Really, really coming in hot is Franklin Torres. 489 batting average in the regular season. 23 hits, 3 homers, 9 RBIs, 4 stolen bases as well. And in the postseason, he's really kept up that form. 389 heading into this afternoon's contest. 7 hits, 5 runs scored as well.
What's important to mention is in just 11 games he got those 23 hits, almost tying many of the Royals' numbers.
Yeah, there are players on this Royals roster, admittedly, who played pretty much the full season and have less hits than Torres does. So for him to come back to this team and really make such a profound impact goes to show you the type of player that he is.
You know, the Royals originally expected guys like Torres and Claudio Custodio and Kiner Pina to be as here in the first week of July, but their season in Venezuela just kept going and going and going, and their date just kept getting pushed back to the point where it was crunch time when it came to qualifying these players.
But they got in, and all 3 of those players have been performing so excellently in the admittedly small sample-sized season that they've had so far.
Only 1 player on this lineup didn't qualify for the postseason in Jeff McLeod, but he was injured most of the year, so he had an exemption.
More of a veteran clubhouse presence than anything. always good to have guys like that, which is, of course, why the Royals went out and signed Nick Burdett, Topley as well. As the bunt popped foul. Not
something you see
Yeah.
often from Franklin Torres.
Yeah, we talked about those impressive stats. He's usually pretty confident. Last year was the star catcher for the Guelph Royals during their Cinderella run to the Dominico Cup final. That ball, a slider inside, 1-1 the count. Torres, one of the many returning faces, guys who are very familiar with this Welland lineup. Lair didn't play with the team last year, but spent 2 seasons, 2018 and 2019, with the club, a little before Torres' time. So he's going to chop that one on the ground. Brendan Luther's going to field it cleanly. Toss it on to first, and Smyber didn't have his foot on the bag, but was able to make the tag, narrowly avoiding a collision with Torres. Well, that is going to bring up the big man, Liam Wilson. Wilson, as we mentioned, 3 for 4 last night.
Liam Wilson.
Had a very impressive regular season as well. .299 batting average, 29 hits, 3 home runs, and 15 RBIs. Not to mention a less than stellar 10 hit by pitches throughout the season. Even got plunked in batting practice today. Baseball seems drawn to him.
Struggling at the plate today against Lair.
That he has. And very quickly an 0-2 count. Liam Wilson would love to avoid making this his 3rd strikeout of the contest. As Wilson's going to sky that one high. Mullen and Smybert chasing after it, but it is the first baseman who's going to make the grab. And just like that, there are 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Yeah, for Wilson, a guy who is, well, I should say had a plus 500 batting average heading into this afternoon's contest, to struggle so much at the plate is a little concerning if you're Dino Ramel and the Royals staff. That is going to bring up Garrett Takamatsu, who is 2 for 2 on the day, 2 singles. Both of them deep shots to right field. Jackfish defense, again, about as straight up as they can be. Still a massive gap up the middle.
That's exactly where Takamatsu put it his last at-bat.
Such an excellent reader of the game is Takamatsu. MVP for a reason. But very quickly has worked himself into an 0-2 count against Lair. And that is going to be called a strikeout. One of those deceptive fastballs by Lair just caught the edge of the zone. 0-2 becomes 0-3. Another K for Lair. But the Royals still hanging on to their 3-1 lead, as we're just getting started in this one, folks. So if you haven't already, grab a snack, grab a drink, and settle in, because this ball game is just getting started. Don't go anywhere. This is Royals TV. Welcome back to Guelph Royals TV. Josh Alderman, Eli Pearl on the call today. Guelph Royals still leading the way 3-1
Number 10, Mateo Porchelato.
as we head into the 6th inning of play. That is going to bring up Mateo Porchelato. Double his last time up. Struck out back in the 1st inning. Fouls the first pitch he sees from Jacob Cush. Back, 0-1 the count. Quite a bit of activity in both bullpens. We can see 2 pitchers up and roaming around for the Royals, and 1 just kind of stretching, not quite throwing just yet in the Jackfish bullpen. Very quickly, a 1-1 count on Porchelato. As that one runs inside. Not something we see often from Jacob Cush. Usually if he loses a bit of his control, it does go outside or down in the dirt. Something to keep an eye on as this at-bat progresses. No doubt about that.
Right down the pipe. And if you're the Guelph Royals in this situation, you obviously expect Cush to go the rest of this inning, but you have lots of options to go to out of the bullpen.
That one, a fastball seemingly tailor-made for a punch-out, but the call was not given, and we have ourselves a full count here.
A call we might have seen earlier in the game.
As that one's going to be fouled back. Yeah, it looks like glove may have come into contact with bat there, but everyone's all right. And the at-bat will continue. 3-2 still the count. Smybert and Mullen waiting in the wings. As the payoff pitch gets popped up out of play. Way back behind the grandstand and undoubtedly into our parking lot here. The parking lot here at Hastings. Hopefully not an unwanted souvenir for a fan. Lodged in the windshield of their car. Wouldn't be the first time, as that one's going to be skied high into right field. No trouble at all for Andy Leader. Makes the grab and retires Porchelato with ease.
The first baseman, number 5, James Smybert.
It is going to bring up first baseman James Smybert. Has flown out in his only 2 at-bats in the game so far. 1 to Torres, 1 to J.D. Williams. Matthew Ward playing in, trying to prevent a bunt situation. Won't be called into action there as that one's fouled back, 1-1. Smybert, a late season pickup by the Jackfish, but a familiar face to them. Played in 2022 and 2023, and in the postseason has come alive. Heading into tonight, .313 batting average. 5 hits, 5 RBIs. And what the stats won't tell you is how patient he is up at the plate, working himself into a 3-1 count against Jacob Cush. Cush gets set. That one fouled back, and for what feels like the dozenth time in this game, it's a full count on a Jackfish batter. That pitch count running pretty high, up to 92 for Cush through 5. So that one's going to be chopped on the ground. Connor Morrow grabs it on a hop, is going to flip it on to Wilson at first. No trouble at all. So the Royals retire the first 2 batters they see, but brings up arguably the most dangerous one of them all, Robert Mullen.
Number 23, Robert Mullen.
Mentioned before, led the Jackfish in the regular season in both the home run and RBI categories, 11 and 40 respectively. And both the infield and outfield playing deep.
Not the fastest runner, giving the infield lots of time to get it across the diamond.
Plenty of time. Plenty of air on that swing. 0-1 the count. Cush right back at it with another mean heater.
Cush stunning Robert Mullen there, it looked like. He was not sitting fastball.
Yeah, Robert Mullen is going to let that one sail high. 1-2 the count. And I mean, we saw that in his first at-bat. Some of the strikes that Cush was throwing got a nod of respect from Robert Mullen, but
That one sneaks past Matthew Ward on a hard hit ball up the third baseline.
yeah, you could not only hear but feel the contact from Mullen there. Yeah, just getting past Matthew Ward.
Hitter, number 24.
Unfortunately for the Royals, not the first time we've had to say that today. Ward, you wouldn't quite say he's a natural third baseman. Played catcher for most of the season.
Second base is typically his secondary position.
So something to keep an eye on as this game progresses is if Ward can really settle in there at third and stop some of these line drives and ground balls from getting past him. Now with a runner on first, 2 outs, Jacob Cush gets set to throw his 100th pitch of the afternoon. And unceremoniously sent foul there by Grayson Barrett. Barrett, who had the sacrifice fly that brought in the only run of the game for the Jackfish so far. A sac fly wouldn't do him much good here. 1-2 count, 2 outs. Mullen, the runner at first. Cush delivers. Just a bit outside.
Royal City fans showing displeasure here.
And Cush, yeah, just kind of shrugging that one off. Right back to business is Jacob Cush. Not much can phase him. See what we can do in the 2-2. That one's going to be chopped into left field. Ashton Patterson ranging back is going to make it on a hop.
Ashton Patterson originally coming in, rerouted completely, and gets to the ball. Royals fans showing their rally towels here.
And deservedly so. Ashton Patterson, have yourself an afternoon. Unbelievable. I don't think any other player, you know, outside of this Royals team could really make that play. To have the vision, the prowess, and the presence out there in the outfield to see that ball coming. All right, change directions. Hit the afterburners. Leap into the air and make that grab. Euclides Lair will stay in the game. Pitch count now up to 81 through 5.
Jared Kennedy going out to the bullpen and appeared to be signaling his right arm, meaning Brandon Deans will be coming into the game.
Yeah, Cush has pitched extremely well. Through 6 innings, 100-plus pitches, 5 strikeouts as well.
He did exactly what was needed of him.
Yeah. This was said in the last Royals home game against the London Majors that Cush would be, honestly, the ace on any other team, almost any other team. And that just goes to show you the depth and the talent that the Royals have on their pitching staff when he's your number 2 guy.
One of the biggest acquisitions for the Royals this offseason was a closer in Edgar Garcia, pushing Deans into a different role than he was last year. Seeing a guy like Deans possibly come into a 7th is still new in different territory.
Garcia, one of the most dominant relievers in the IBL. His talent and quality never in doubt.
That slider sneaking past Ward there.
Yeah, running inside, something that Lair really hasn't done much this afternoon, preferring to let the slider break to the outside on righty batters. Matthew Ward took a walk his first time up and came around to score. Lets that one sail past, and a good choice as it goes for a ball, 2-1 the count. Defense back to normal. No changes or shifts being made. That one outside, and despite Robert Mullen's best efforts, won't go as a strike. 3-1 the count on Ward.
A killer pitch mix from Lair, really trying to expand the zone there on Ward, but he is not biting.
And not taking the bait, and a late strike call there from Gagne. Ward tossing the bat. Trying to get it out of the way because he really did believe that was a walk. And put up his hands in a sign of apology to Gagne.
Calling time and then making sure Gagne knew he was not trying to show him up in that situation.
Yeah, he well and truly believed it was a walk. Yeah, Gagne's call, regardless of whether or not it was correct, came late. Let's see what Lair can do with the full count. Fouled back as Ward stays alive. Adjusting his gloves once again, something he's done after every pitch in this at-bat.
Gives guys a chance to keep their head in, think about what pitch might be coming next, and get them ready.
Let's see what Lair delivers next. Is that one in on the hands? And Robert Mullen trying to appeal to Costello up there at first, and Costello was just staring right back at him. No doubt in anyone's minds that that was a walk, plain and simple.
Number 24.
That is going to bring up Kader Pena.
Looking to get his first hit of the night.
Fly out and a ground out on his ledger this afternoon. Jackfish now transitioning back to that 2-in, 2-out infield. Corners playing in, and short and second practically on the outfield grasses. That one's going to be slapped into the outfield. Gets plenty of distance, and that's going to send Matthew Ward up to third. You got runners on the corners with no outs here in the home half of the sixth. And Brian Esri taking a couple steps out of the dugout.
The Fish looking very active in the bullpen right now.
Yeah. Now Esri heading to the mound. And he's staring out at the bullpen, not signaling just yet. That's important to note.
Like any good manager, taking his time to make sure his guys in the bullpen get as much time as they need to warm up. The longer it takes him to get out there, the more time they have to get ready to come into this game.
And our cameras didn't quite catch it, but relief pitcher Halen Knoll sprinting the 100-meter dash from the dugout to the bullpen. Not something you want to be doing as a relief pitcher, especially if you're just going to be warming up, is burning all that gas right away.
Gets his energy going.
Yeah. In the moment, who can blame him? As the results inconclusive on the mound meeting.
Now making sure to take his sweet time getting off the field.
Yeah.
Your right fielder, number 11, Andy Leader.
Brian Esri barking out commands to his infielders, putting them right where he thinks they need to be as Andy Leader steps up to the dish. Officially.
Jackfish getting ready to throw home in this situation. And Andy Leader drives one deep to center field.
Morello is going to get to it in time, but it will go as a sac fly as Matthew Ward comes in to score. And Leader, a big old grin on his face. He is loving every minute of this. Finding his rhythm, finally, is Andy Leader.
sending 2 balls fairly deep today, something we haven't seen him able to do a lot this year.
That is going to bring up a guy who has also had quite the afternoon for himself, Ashton Patterson. Defensively, he has been rock solid out there in left. Offensively, hey, his last time up had a RBI stand-up triple.
He's had quite the 24 hours to him with last night's game ending and starting at 6 o'clock.
That's Patterson. Now facing a 1-0 count. That one dropped on the ground. Trying to turn the double play are the Jackfish, but they will not get there in time. The throw from Smybert onto Weisner over at second was in time to get the lead runner, but Patterson, like we mentioned before, he's known as the road runner. The speed is there, the athleticism, the agility coming into play and helping to stay out of a double play. So with that fielder's choice, we flip things over back to the top of the lineup with J.D. Williams. Struck out his last time up. Had a single to lead off the game. Second pitch he saw. Now looking to replicate that as he's going to drive that one into center field. That's going to find some outfield grass. Williams content to stay at first. Patterson had dreams of grandeur about halfway home, but gets the late stop sign from Dino Ramel. And now a chance to catch his breath at third base. Runners on the corners with 2 outs here. And Connor Morrow up to the dish.
I think without a first or third base coach, Patterson would go on anything. He trusts his speed in any situation.
And the throw from Porchelato did come in considerably late, as the runner is going to go. No opposition there. JD advancing up to second. Picking up his 7th stolen base of the postseason. Almost effortless.
A single from Connor Morrow here would now do considerable damage, and that is exactly what he does. Single to right field, Williams coming in to score, play at the plate, and he is in time. Connor Morrow with a 2-out, 2 RBI single to put the Royals up 6-1.
That's how it's done. Connor Morrow, who has been struggling throughout this game, 0 for 3 up to this point, 2 strikeouts on his ledger, comes through big, and that just goes to show you the quality of this Royals roster top to bottom. They got to Euclides Lair, one of the league's best and most dominant pitchers of the 2025 season. That's going to be the end of his afternoon. We are patiently waiting to see who is going to make the trip out to the mound, and as we do, we will step aside for a brief moment. You're watching Guelph Royals TV. Welcome back, fans, inside David E. Hastings Stadium. Josh Alderman, Eli Pearl on the call. And the inning is not quite done just yet. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning, your Royals have put up 3 to extend their lead to 5. 6-1. Now the score in favor of the home side. And the heart of the lineup up to face new pitcher on the mound, Pedro De Los Santos.
De Los Santos, since becoming a Welland Jackfish, has given up no earned runs, something he did not do as a Brantford Red Sox.
A 4.77 ERA in the early part of the season, as his first pitch is high. 1-0 the count. De Los Santos on his 3rd team this season, started the year rostered in Kitchener, then got signed by Brantford and is now with the Welland Jackfish, a late season addition that has, as you mentioned, Eli, proved to be a wise one. 0.00 ERA in both the regular and postseason with the Jackfish. Looking to keep it that way here. The runner will go. The throw from Robert Mullen is not in time. Mark it as a stolen base for Connor Morrow.
The Royals taking nothing off the gas. It is go, go, go. The story of today's game was going to be if the Royals could break through Euclides' lair, which they have.
And of course, the bullpen, nothing to scoff at, but respectfully not at the quality, the intensity of Euclides' lair. Yeah. As we mentioned off the top, to win this contest, to bounce back from the loss last night, the Royals are going to have to break down the Welland Jackfish to really destroy their will, their momentum, and their confidence progressively and intensely throughout this contest, and they have done just that up to this point. Now a full count on Torres. Morrow, the runner at second, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. The payoff pitch, lined into foul territory. A lot of power behind that swing. Something we haven't quite seen too much of from Torres. Leans a little more to the contact side of things than power. But God, all of that ball just couldn't keep it fair. De Los Santos delivers again. That one, it's going to be lined into the outfield. That one, bouncing way deep into right field, cashing in 1 run is Torres, and he's getting the stop sign. He will stay at second with a stand-up 2-out RBI double. Make it 7-1 Royals. And the rally towels out in full force once again.
Your first baseman, number 45, Liam Wilson.
Wilson struggling in his first 3 at-bats against Lair, looking to do some damage here with a runner on second base.
Yep, has struck out twice and popped out. 0 for 3 on the day officially. And you mentioned before, Eli, that he has been such a destructive force for the Royals in this postseason. Of course, went 3 for 4 last night. Had a 3-run home run just a matter of nights ago. Two and 0 now the count. Wilson a little more patient now that Lair is off the mound. And of course, as soon as I say that, takes a big swing that's going to make its way into right field. Getting the wave is Torres, and he will come in uncontested. The ball's going to get past Mullen. Advancing up to second is Liam Wilson. He's going to... Oh, I thought he was going to round the corner, head for third, but he seems content with staying at second base. Folks, when it rains, it pours, and the Welland Jackfish, they don't have an umbrella. The Royals just keep on pushing forward, breaking down the Royals. Or breaking down the Jackfish, I should say, are the Royals. And now, You go from a rock to a hard place. Garrett Takamatsu up at the dish.
2 for 3 on the night with 2 singles. Guy who just always is putting the ball in play. As that pitch misses outside.
He always delivers. That's what's so dangerous about this Royals lineup, top to bottom. They are big moment men. They show up when the lights shine the brightest, or in the context of this game, the sun. A rare afternoon game here at Hastings. The Royals have shown up and shown off. As Takamatsu is going to ground that one. Green unable to pick it up. Luther cleaning up the mess in the throw just in time to first. De Los Santos is frustrated, shouting at Mullen on his way back to the dugout. And the damage is done. The downpour continues as your Royals put 5 more on the board. It is 8-1 as we head into the 7th inning. Stay tuned to Guelph Royals TV.
Hard-line drive up the middle. Whoa! Lindor out of nowhere. How did he do that?
That Lindor can play. I don't know about that hair. And don't get me started on those gloves.
I don't know. I kind of like it.
It's time for a revolution. The Ref 1X by Rollins.
Welcome back, fans, to Guelph Royals TV here at David E. Hastings Stadium. Your Royals are up big on the Welland Jackfish. 8-1 is now the score, and we have got a new pitcher up there on the mound shooting his shot against the Jackfish. That is Brandon Deans, the Mississauga man. Has been oh so impressive in the postseason and regular season so far.
Number 20, Brendan Luther.
Of course, 1 appearance in the postseason so far, 1 inning pitched, struck out 2, so officially a 0-0 in the playoffs. In the regular season, had a deceptive 5.10 ERA, played a lot better than that. Across 37 innings pitched, had 42 strikeouts.
Deans with an extremely high Ks per 9, but also an extremely high walks per 9. The story here will be if he can keep runners off the base paths.
Had 29 walks through 13 games pitched. See if he can rein it in here. And it's looking like he will be able to early. 1-1 the count.
Deans had a bit of a mixed role for the Royals this year, both starting games and coming into relief.
It's been fairly balanced both ways. And you got to be a certain caliber of pitcher to be able to be put in either of those roles. To shine in relief, to help with run support, and to also start games, to be the first guy that the opposition sees.
Well, that's something that makes this Royals team so dangerous, is that you have Brandon Deans, Andrew Case, Edgar Garcia, and Antonio Frias, who have all started games previously this year, and most of those guys are in the bullpen currently.
Yeah, we talk endlessly about how dangerous the Jackfish are top to bottom, well balanced. But the Royals, that pitching staff, there is none like it. As that one's going to be chopped on the ground. Connor Morrow picks it up on a hop, flips it on to first. And a very quick out here to kick off the top of the 7th. You got to imagine, should things go smoothly, Deans will end up going about 2 innings. Setting the stage for Edgar Garcia to close things down. Again, should the game stay this way, and if all goes according to Dino Ramel's plan. But these Jackfish are tough. They are tenacious. Got plenty of will and wile about them. But Dean's looking to break them down pitch by pitch. Is that one a fastball? Down and in. 1-1 now the count. Deans right back at it, wasting little time and getting the desired result. A big swing and a miss from Thomas Green brings the count to 1-2. Green had a single his last time up. One of the many runners stranded by the Jackfish in this game so far. That one, fastball down in the dirt. But no runners on the base path, so no harm, no foul. Evens the count up at 2-2. And a hush has fallen over Hastings, waiting in anticipation for Deans' next pitch. Big swing and a miss there. Back-to-back batters retired by Brandon. Now he faces the 9-hole hitter, left fielder Brandon Hupe. Hupe had a triple his first time up, also grounded into a double play.
Lined into a double play.
Lined, I should say, you're right. Right into the glove of Franklin Torres, who then caught Green sleeping. So that one outside a ball, 1-1 the count. No activity in the Royals bullpen. Furthering the theory that Deans will be trusted to go 2 here. And with the way he's pitching, he may very well go the distance. 1-2 now the count. Hupe waiting patiently as Deans gets set and delivers. That one dropping just below the zone at the wrong time. 2-2 the count. Yet to see much activity in the Jackfish bullpen, but it's the Royals bullpen that has come up big here. Brandon Deans really making his mark on the game. Back-to-back strikeouts here in the top of the 7th inning.
He's looking like his old self.
Yeah, he's really found his form here at the tail end of the season and has brought that momentum here into this appearance against the Jackfish. Oh, so crucial is this one, and De Los Santos will stay in the game for the opposition.
Dean's going through college to become a police officer has lost a considerable amount of weight, which can be difficult for a pitcher. As we know, mass equals gas. That was a question going into this year. Was his velo still going to be there? And he's proven himself that it is.
And not only that, he's really reined in some of his control. He's been able to almost pinpoint his pitchers a lot more effectively, not at the expense of his velocity. Yeah, don't let those numbers fool you. He has been one of the most consistent and reliable relievers in this bullpen all throughout the season. And momentum, it's one hell of a thing, and he has carried that torch onto the defensive side of things for the Royals, really keeping the confidence high and setting the table for the Royals to come back up to bat here.
It's on a yellow ticket. Here is the winning number.
Fans getting excited here for 50-50.
7-3-2, 4-3-1.
Assuredly a big pot tonight based on the crowd size here at Hastings.
4-3-1.
I believe I heard $566.
I should have bought a ticket if I had known, but I digress. De Los Santos,
Bottom of the seventh here.
despite his frustrations and visible anger at Robert Mullen at the end of the 6th inning, will stick it out as Matthew Ward steps up to the dish.
0 for 1 with 2 walks this afternoon.
Came around to score in the first of those 2. Such excellent vision. Of course, you'd expect a catcher to have one. Didn't bite on that bait. 1-1 the count. And De Los Santos working quick here. That one chopped foul. Looked like Ward may have chopped it off his own leg. Yeah, a little shaken up. Taking a second to collect himself. Crowd staying loud here at Hastings. But we'd expect nothing less from both the Royals Kingdom and the traveling Jackfish fans. And De Los Santos spikes that one.
Not even in the dirt, but
No,
on the grass.
Yeah, on the infield grass. And spiking it, yeah, directly down.
Ward not looking happy.
I think because that bounce came narrowly close to his head. But the control is still there, and De Los Santos, he is fired up on the mound. Picks up that big strikeout to kick off the home half of the 7th.
Your catcher, number 24, Kaner
That is going to bring up Kaner Pena. Recorded a hit, a single his last time up. 1 for 3 on the afternoon. And defense again leaving such a massive gap up the middle that really only Garrett Takamatsu has exploited to this point. See if Pena's gotten wise as he lets that one sail past. 1-1 the count. We've seen a myriad of pitches from De Los Santos so far in this small sample size here at Hastings. Fastballs and a changeup or 2. As that one's going to get squared into right center field. Pena on board, his 2nd single of the contest. And that's going to turn things over to the business end of the Royals lineup. Andy Leader, followed
right fielder,
by Ashton Patterson, should the inning progress that far.
Andy Leader.
It was the bottom of the order that really got the party started early on in this game when the Royals put up 2 runs in the 2nd inning. Top of the order has, for lack of a better term, picked up the slack. Caught up to the likes of Leader and Patterson, leading to the 8-run score that you see now.
If that's something that can continue throughout the playoffs, that makes this Royals lineup scarier and scarier.
So that pitch seemed like mid-delivery. De Los Santos spun around and decided to throw to first. Unorthodox, if anything. Still an 0-1 count. Pena the runner at first, 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Keeping an eye on Pena, even as he was in mid-delivery.
And yet not the runner you'd think he'd be worried about.
Yeah. Didn't keep his eye on the ball, and now a 1-1 count becomes a 2-1 count. As leader, had an RBI double, a walk, and a sac fly in his last 3 at-bats, his only 3 at-bats of the game. As that one down in the dirt, and De Los Santos, like Lair before him, wearing his emotions on his sleeve, letting his frustrations be known. As he gets set to deliver the 3-1. Down in the dirt, and it'll be 2 runners aboard for the road runner, Ashton Patterson, the 9-hole hitter, who had an RBI triple in his second at-bat of the game.
50, Ashton Patterson.
Welland Jackfish again coming in on the corners, expecting a bunt from Ashton Patterson. And can you blame them?
Not at all. Ashton Patterson, by the numbers, is on the lower end of the hitters for the Royals. The stats haven't quite been there. He's more known for his base running abilities, his athleticism, and his defensive prowess out in the outfield. But he has stepped up big here in this game and looks to keep that momentum going. As he takes that pitch in on the elbow, called a strike, 1-1 the count. Patterson, yeah, none too pleased about that one. Neither is the crowd. As De Los Santos gets set. Another breaking ball and another strike, 1-2. Pina making fast friends with Luther. Chatting it up out there at second base.
Mullen setting up far outside.
As a jammed swing from Patterson there.
Unfortunately hits off of one of our speakers. Hopefully their quality doesn't get any worse than it already is.
Yeah, those speakers have been through a lot, and it shows. As De Los Santos gets set for the 1-2. That one looked to be inside, but broke just at the last moment as De Los Santos picks up the strikeout. Now 2 outs
Your center fielder.
for the center fielder, J.D. Williams.
J.D. Williams.
J.D. Williams has 2 hits on the night, both being singles.
Two for 4 in the contest so far. De Los Santos somehow up to 32 pitches now. So that one's going to be grounded. It is a fair ball, and Green will take it to the bag himself for the force out. So the Royals leave runners stranded, but remain ahead 8-1 as we head into the 8th inning of play. This is Guelph Royals TV.
On we go to the top.
Welcome back to David E. Hastings Stadium. It's your Guelph Royals leading 8-1 here in Game 2 of the IBL semifinals. Josh Alderman, Eli Pearl on the call. Brandon Deans remains up there on the mound. Deans had the bottom of the order on skates, struck out 2 to end the inning. And his first pitch to the top of the order, Jonah Weisner, goes down for a ball, a fastball, 1-0 the count. Down again, as Eli and I mentioned earlier, control was a little bit of an issue for Deans at the start of the season. Really kind of reined it in, despite what the stats may say. And is able to draw a strike there with the fastball down and in. We're seeing little signs of action from both bullpens. As that one's going to be chopped on the ground. Connor Morrow grabs it on a hop, flips it onto Wilson at first. No trouble at all. And just like that, one out here in the top of the 8th inning. Turning things over to center fielder Gio Morello.
The center fielder, number
Followed,
11,
of course, by right fielder Matteo Porcelato. The Royals, no defensive substitutions being made. Staying with what they got. And hey, why fix what isn't broken? This team has been firing on all cylinders in every single aspect. As Deans fires that one down in the dirt, 1-0 the count.
This lead's certainly not big enough to have defensive substitutions in for hitters that you want to keep in this order.
And that's the dangerous part about the Welland Jackfish. No matter the lead, no matter how many innings are left in the contest, there's always a chance. There's always an opportunity for them to jump back in it. Especially when you're swinging like that, as that one's sent foul. Plenty of pop in that swing from Morello. Skies it well above the beer garden here at Hastings that has seen its fair share of fouls in this contest. More than a few souvenirs. Fouled back again, and where else but the beer garden? That one more of a line drive than anything. A couple fans ducking out of the way, but no one's hurt.
A new order of balls might need to be brought in after this game.
Fouls upon fouls. And that one, a fastball right up Main Street. That is called a ball. 3-2 now the count.
Royals fans really showing their displeasure on that one.
Yeah, that's tough. That was a 50-50 call. Really could have gone either way. And that one's going to be chopped on the ground. Torres flips it on the hop. Wilson's going to make the tag. Just misses the collision. And so far, not to put the IBL announcer's curse on it, but Brandon Deans has retired the first 5 batters that he has seen in this relief appearance. Of course, a tall task in front of him in the form of Matteo Porcelato.
But you've got to wonder, does Dino Rumel leave him in to the top of the 9th?
With the way that he's pitching, you might just have to. Sure, the control, as you can see right there, has kind of gotten away from him as he's settled in on the mound. But when he's retired the first 5 batters that he's faced, got to go with what's hot. As that one inside. Great job by Pina to wrangle that one in. 2-1 the count. Waiting in the on-deck circle, should things advance that far, is James Smyberg. No doubt about that one. A heater of a fastball right up the middle of the plate. Now a 2-2 count, 2 outs here in the top of the 8th inning. Deans delivers, and it's fastball that gets cranked into left field. Richelato's gonna turn a corner. Makes it up with a stand-up 2-out double. His second double of the contest. That is going to bring up James Smybert. Smybert yet to record a hit in this contest. Pop out, fly out, ground out. All he's missing is a strikeout, and he'd have just about as many outs as you can get. Little meeting of the minds there on the mound.
The first baseman, number 5.
Going over signs?
Tiger.
Perhaps.
Not perhaps. In situations like that where it's the catcher and the shortstop that goes in, the ump also travels with them to ensure that they're only talking about signs. If they're talking about anything else, it would count as a mound visit.
And that's why we keep you around, Eli. That excellent baseball insight. May have to bring you in the booth a little more often.
Only when I'm needed.
Just like Eli, Brandon Deans has really stepped up in a tough spot here. Now an 0-2 count on Smybert. And the Royals Kingdom coming alive once again.
Action is now being seen in the Royals bullpen. You have to imagine it's closer Edgar Garcia.
As that one is chopped foul, Smybert stays alive. Yeah, it's a no-brainer to go to Edgar Garcia in this situation. Deans goes the 2 innings, gets the job done. That's really all you can ask of him. Hand things over to the former MLB reliever. But let's focus on the present, and that is exactly what Brandon Deans is trying to do with that fastball, seemingly up the middle. Called a ball, 1-2, now the count. Gagne, it seems like his strike zone has shrunk as the game has gone on. Started off wide and now exponentially closing in. But again, there's a reason we're up here in the booth and he's down there on the field calling the balls and strikes. And Brandon Deans would love a call of the ladder here. That one is going to be fouled, but flipped onto first. So officially a strikeout, his third of the day, and Brandon Deans comes up big, shaking his head a little frustrated. But really, you couldn't ask for much more.
Looking into the Royals bullpen, it might be Andrew Case and not Edgar Garcia. Guy who might need to get his work in, keep his arm fresh.
And you got to imagine saving Garcia perhaps for
a Game 3 start.
A Game 3 start even.
It could be a mix between Frias, Garcia, even Kyle Thomas.
And again, that's what you mentioned earlier, Eli, is that's what makes this Royals pitching staff so dangerous, is just how versatile most of these pitchers are.
Deep and versatile.
Yeah, a new pitcher on the mound for the Welland Jackfish. And you look at Euclides Lair, really had a good afternoon. Did give up those couple runs, had a couple strikeouts as well. Just not what the Jackfish were looking for from their number 2 guy. And then De Los Santos, his emotions got the better of him. The score got ran up by the Royals, and they'll turn things over to Anthony Porchelato. the rookie pitcher, making his first appearance of the postseason. Had a fairly good regular season as well. 7 games, 3.60 ERA.
Giving up 8 walks and 8 hits over 10 innings pitched, something you don't love to see if you're the Welland Jackfish.
Leading off for your Guelph Royals, the shortstop, number 6, Connor.
A capable pitcher, nonetheless.
Connor Morrow coming up big his last at-bat with a 2 RBI single.
1 for 4 on the afternoon. As now he faces off against Anthony Porchelato. A hard throw, but that's down in the dirt. Porchelato, of course, if the last name didn't give it away, is the brother of right fielder Mateo. Is that one check swing by Morrow? Now a 1-1 count. Anthony Porchelato taking his time, really making Morrow sweat. But he's not sweating the small stuff. That one, fastball outside, 2-1 the count. Torres and Wilson also scheduled to appear in this inning. Of course, Takamatsu and the dangerous bottom of the order due up afterwards. So that one down in the dirt. Check swing by Morrow. Great job to pull that bat back just in time. And the appeal over to first, of course, goes as a ball. 3-1 the count. Down in the dirt, Morrow didn't swing at it. He's very patient at the plate. And the patience pays off in spades as Morrow draws the walk and will reach. Putting a runner on board for Franklin Torres.
Your second baseman,
Torres, who seems to have done everything this game. A pop out, a ground out, a line out, and a double. Let's hope he can do put some more damage here for the Royals.
Just keep the downpour going. The Jackfish haven't found their umbrella, their solution to keep themselves out of this onslaught.
And it is now Edgar Garcia warming up in the Royals bullpen. That 22 is very visible from here.
Garcia, by no means a small guy. Pretty noticeable out there in the bullpen. Is that pitch down in the dirt once again? The fastball really running away from Porchelato. 1-1 the count. Morrow isn't going to run us that one. When we say there's in-your-face pitches, don't necessarily mean that.
And leave it to Franklin Torres to smile a pitch like that off. Turn to Robert Mullen with a little giggle to it.
Yeah. Right up in the grill of Torres. Waves it off and fouls off the next pitch. 2-2 the count. Morrow having some words with Jonah Weisner. Friendly or otherwise, we'll never know.
To Connor Morrow, I imagine it's pretty friendly.
Yeah, despite the Jackfish having revenge on their minds after the Royals upset them in last year's semifinals. No real bad blood between these two teams. That one chopped foul. Torres staying alive.
Well, if things go the way they are, we're looking at a reverse at last year's series. Not one team won at home last year, and already we could be kicking this series off with 1-1, both teams winning at home. You don't want to jinx anything, but an 8-1 lead is an 8-1 lead.
Still plenty of baseball left to be played. But the Royals have been quite decisive in this contest as Smybert chasing after that one, but just can't get to it in time. gave his all and looks a little out of breath as he's going to trot back to first, picking up his hat along the way.
They made a triangle surrounding the ball, and it just fell right in the middle of them.
Something that you don't see often from the usually defensively sound Jackfish. As now Anthony Porcelato getting set to deliver the 2-2. Fans from both sides exchanging friendly words as that one's chopped on the ground. Green's going to flip it over to Weisner for one, on to Smybert at first, and they turn the double play. Porcelato still looking shaky up there on the mound, but drawing unproductive contact from the ever-dangerous Torres. But that is going to turn things around to first baseman Liam Wilson. Wilson doubled his last time up. Really, I should say single, but advanced up to second. About as good as a double, still ended up as the same result. And he's going to take that one off the numbers. Led the Royals in hit by pitches, nearly a dozen in that category.
Such a large presence at the plate, and he is like a magnet.
Made of tough stuff is Liam Wilson. And we've got our first pinch hitter of the contest. In for Garrett Takamatsu is Carson Burns. Burns has had a very solid postseason. 400 batting average, 2 hits, 2 runs scored, 1 RBI as well, as the 3 umpires having a little bit of a conference on the infield grass. Not sure what it could be about.
Burns came into pinch hit last night against Davey Mendez. Grounded out to second base, I believe.
That he did. Burns, one of the returning faces from last year's squad. Very familiar with these Jackfish. Anthony Porcelato gets set, delivers the 0-1. Becomes a 1-1 after he sends that fastball high and wide. Burns in the regular season batted .221, 15 hits, 5 RBIs as well. A solid hand, as they say.
A utility guy who can play second, short, or third base.
And just a reliable guy, a good guy to have around the clubhouse. Not the most powerful batter, but can get the contact when it matters most, as Anthony Porcelato taking his time. That one narrowly missing the hands of Morrow. Burns, pardon me.
This at-bat looking like it could get away from Porcelato.
Just as that pitch does, down in the dirt. And the second walk of the inning for Porcelato. That is going to bring up Matthew Ward. Officially 0 for 2 on the day.
Matthew Ward!
2 walks as well. Came around to score his first time up. Now with 2 runners on board and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning, let's see what he's got in him. As he lets that one sail past, 0-1 the count. Porcelato starting to rein things in.
Wardo shaking his head on that one, not disputing the call, but angry at himself.
Yeah, a little more frustrated with himself for not swinging at that one. But he is a very patient hitter. Lets that one sail past, and same result. This time checking in with Gagne. Porcelato, a little subtle with the hands, waving at Ward to get back in the batter's box. Again, emotions being worn on the sleeves of the Jackfish pitching staff. The Royals have really gotten into their heads today. See if Ward can continue that trend here as Porcelato delivers the 0-2. He picks up the K, and that'll turn things over to the 9th inning. It is crunch time as we send things to real baseball time. This is when memories and moments are made. It's the 9th inning of play coming up next. Welcome back, fans, to David E. Hastings Stadium. It's the top of the 9th inning, and Brandon Deans is still up there on the mound. It is Josh Marquez stepping into the batter's box to pinch hit.
Lots of motion was going on in the Royals dugout, but why not rest your guys when Deans is pitching lights out right now, as he does there, catching the outside corner with his fastball.
Yeah, cool as ice is Deans, and already an 0-1 count. Takes a big hack at that one, and very quickly 0-2. Deans looks locked in on the mound, shakes off the first few signs from Pina, has something in mind.
Going again to that outside fastball. He really wanted that one, but just outside.
Yeah, just didn't play for him. Looks to get things back under control here with the 1-2. Right down the middle, and he K's up another.
The sun's starting to set terribly out in the infield. Matthew Ward almost blinded by the light as Pino went to throw down to third there.
Make it his 4th strikeout of the afternoon. Deans, just like the rest of the Royals, is rolling.
Oh!
As the bat sent flying from the hands.
A dog looking extremely scared on that one.
Poor guy.
That was not a stick, but a bat.
Yep. Folks here at Hastings know all too well about dogs and Royals baseball.
And obviously you'd be referring to Bark in the Park there, Josh, right?
Of course, and nothing else. as that bat, yeah, looked like it was going to get lodged in the fence. That's the kind of force that that swing had behind it.
Little break and play there. Some extra pine tar was put on that twig.
Big swing and a miss there. And very quickly, an 0-2 count. Deans right back at it. That one's going to be grounded up. Bounces off the foot of Deans. Torres grabs it, flips it on to Wilson at first.
And he is just so incredible. The Royals going around the horn with a little mishap there. Ball ends up in shallow center field. J.D. Williams not looking impressed.
Yeah, not happy at all is the coach. But Mark Deans down with the assist on that one. Not on purpose, but it bounces off his foot and right into the glove of Torres, who flips it on to Wilson to pick up a much-needed out, and that is going to flip things over to the last hope of the Jackfish, Brendan Luther. First pitch of fastball outside, something he has gone back to time and time again here in this relief appearance.
Dean's usually only using 3 pitches. I imagine when he starts, he mixes in some secondaries, but while he closes, he relies mainly on that slider, fastball, and a changeup.
About as effective of a pitch combo as you can get. Has worked it to good use, but unable to really find the zone here in this at-bat. 2 straight balls. Finally able to find the strike zone there. 2-1 now the count. Should Luther get on base, Thomas Green waiting in the on-deck circle. Deans gets set and delivers. Check swing. He did not go around, despite the appeal from Pina. Very quickly, a 3-1 count on Luther. Deans gets set and delivers. That one down in the dirt. First walk of this relief appearance for Deans. Something you mentioned, Eli, he did struggle with in the regular season.
Third baseman number 1, Thomas
That
Green.
is going to bring up third baseman Thomas Green. Green, 1 for 3 in today's contest. Had a single his second time up. Deans gets set and delivers. That one, the changeup, broke just a little too late. 1-0 the count.
Dean's not looking over at the runner on first.
Yeah.
You have to imagine he's set to steal here.
So that one's going to be popped foul. And it's the Jackfish. You expect them to steal. You expect them to have a guy with speed up there on base. Yeah, they're going to send him. But you even look at Liam Wilson. He's not playing close to the bag. Not like they're going to even attempt a pickoff here.
Dean's turned over for the first time this at-bat.
Just a little check-in. So that one slapped foul once again, and 1-2 is the count on Thomas Green.
And rally towels starting to go here as the Jackfish could be down to their final strike.
Deans getting set. The rally towels out in full force. The 1-2. In the dirt. Talk about anticlimactic.
Pina's showing a little discomfort there. Something that could be a little worrying.
Yeah, it looks like went in the dirt and kind of bounced up into him. He was kind of holding both the glove and the ball at his chest, and we're going to get a little umpire meeting in the infield.
What they were discussing, I really do not know.
Yeah, I couldn't think of anything unless they're doing Pina a solid and giving him a couple seconds to recover. We'll never know. as Deans gets set to deliver the 2-2. Swing and a miss!
Signed, stealed, and delivered. Deans with a big strikeout to close out this game.
How sweet it is. History and momentum are on their side, and the Royals did exactly what they set out to do, and that is break down the unbreakable, the Welland Jackfish.
A day off tomorrow. Tuesday, they come back for their next game in Welland.
And of course, plenty of key players in this afternoon's contest. Jacob Cush going 6 innings, giving up 6 hits, just that 1 earned run and 5 strikeouts. And then Brandon Deans picking up where Cush left off, gave up a hit and 3 strikeouts to his name. Williams 2 for 4 with that RBI. Takamatsu 2 for 4. Leader 1 for 1 officially on the day. Morrow 1 for 3 and Pena 2 for 4 as well.
Again, the Royals picking up a big 8-1 victory, tying up this series.
May have been an afternoon, evening game, but the Stars showed up in Hastings tonight. And now with momentum on their side, what do you expect from both teams heading into the next game?
As for the Royals, I'm not sure who will be starting this game. So many different options. And Dino Rumel will be thinking about that one.
Plenty of options. And for the Jackfish, now backpedaling. The Royals have really gotten to them. What do you think they have to do in their next contest to get back in this series?
I think both teams have played good games. Both executed each in their own way in the different matchup. I think you've got to go back and do the same thing. Get a few more hits on the board. But at the end of the day, you faced a very solid Jacob Cush and an incredibly great Brandon Deans. I'm not too sure.
Well, the strategy, a little up in the air, but the result is not. Your Royals pick up a massive victory, evening the series up at 1 game apiece. Of course, these teams will head down to the pond on Tuesday and then back here at Hastings on Wednesday, September 3rd, first pitch at 7:35 p.m. Game 4 of the IBL semifinals set to kick off here in the Royal City. Well, what a game it was. A big, big victory for the Guelph Royals. Momentum, confidence, history, power on their side. Can they get it done at the pond? We will just have to wait and see. And that's going to do it for this afternoon's contest. For our outstanding crew and the one and only Eli Pearl, I'm Josh Alderman saying goodbye and good night until next time.